it's just lawn. So I really like the idea of reducing water.
In this particular landscape, we are using a tech line drip line. The goal of using this type of drip irrigation is that it's not only durable and low maintenance, it will also allow for an even distribution of water over the entire surface of your planting area, which is ideal to keep the biology alive in the soil, which feeds the roots of your trees and your plants. Every foot there's a hole that lets out 0.6 gallons per hour when the system's running. So at the beginning of your irrigation system, you either will be tying into your hose bib into your landscape, or you can use solenoid valves, which are connected to your timer. In this case, the timer's in the garage, and there's a wire that's routed to the garage around the house. So we have two valves for this particular front yard. One valve waters one particular part of the landscape, and I've color coded it, so this entire green part goes with one valve, and then the other irrigation zone is watered by this valve automatically with the timer, and that makes sure that your landscape gets watered even when you're away from home or too busy to check on things. An important part of your irrigation valve assembly is to have a shutoff. So in case you need to shut off the water completely to your valves and do maintenance on them, you're able to just turn the knob and make sure you don't have any water flowing through the system when you work on it. In this particular landscape, we installed new irrigation piping, new PVC. This is Schedule 40, 3/4 inch, and we routed this from the valve to this particular planting bed. And the next step is to get this connected to our drip irrigation, and we need to adapt to it. From the PVC that pops up out of the ground, we're going to slap on a 90, and then we're going to slap on this adapter, which slips on one side, and the other side it has a threaded piece that looks like this, and that screws in there, and from there on it's all drip line. First thing first, you want to make sure this is cut so it's level with the soil. So now that's revealed. Next we'll put the 90 on. We're good to go. Some other parts you will need to work with this type of drip system are some connecting tubes or connectors. These are elbows, T's. Some other things you will need are a rubber mallet and some staples, which will hold the irrigation line in place. You also will need a way to space the lines evenly, because the whole point of this is to have an even distribution of water, and that way in order to do that, you need to have lines parallel to each other a certain distance. In this case, we're going with 14 inches, so I cut a piece of pipe as a way of not having to use the tape measure anymore. So this will be our measuring tool to evenly space the lines. And lastly, you'll need some pruners or really sharp scissors that will be able to cut through your drip line as you go.
Our little fountain. I mean, Derek put it in a great spot. We love it.
So you'll see it's easier to get the drip line over the barb fitting with a little wiggle action. Wearing gloves with a rough surface helps with the grip. And then you'll want to staple the line down. And ideally, you're going a few inches away from any hardscape or pathway. So that's good. So it helps to have a person holding the one end of the line while you unroll the drip tubing. And as you do it, you can turn the roll to get all the curves out of the line. And then when you get to the end, you can staple it all in. Yeah. So if you do it like this, you can actually figure out how many minutes it takes to apply a 1/4 inch of water. So actually you know exactly how much water is going. Otherwise it's like a guess, you know. So what happens if you get a leak in your drip line? It's pretty easy. All you need is a coupler. One of these guys. So maintaining drip line that has built-in emitters is very easy. You need pruners and one of these guys. You don't have to hire anyone, waste money. You just cut the line there and then you slap in the coupler and connect it again. If your leak covers a certain amount of space and you need to cut out a longer section of pipe, then you'll need extra tubing to replace and 2 couplers to replace that part. So when you're done laying out your drip line, you're going to want to slap one of these figure 8 pieces to close the line. But wait, we're not ready yet. We actually have to flush the line before we turn the system on. Flushing the line means turning it on with the end open, so all the dirt that might have fallen into the line as you were installing it gets flushed out. So we're going to just turn the system on from the valve with this open, and then we'll close it after. So we're flushing the line for a couple minutes. See all that dirt coming out? It's good to get it clear before you pressurize your line and test it out for the first time. So after it's been going clear for, I don't know, like 10 to 20 seconds, then you can close it off like that. Seal it, and then run the line for 10 minutes or so that you can look for even distribution of all those water droplets every 12 inches before you cover it with your wood chip layer. So here we're adding the last layer of the sheet mulch, wood chips. You want to cover all your drip lines, keep them cool and protected and away from animals. So when you have you know, a planting bed alongside a hardscape like a cement walkway or a driveway, and you want to grade out first along that area so that when you finally put your mulch, it will level up nicely with the hardscape. And this will prevent a lot of unnecessary maintenance, because if you didn't grade it out first, this mulch is just going to want to spill onto the sidewalk and you're just going to be sweeping every day to keep your landscape clean. In this landscape, we were trying to see if we could use a gray water system, but there is a certain constraint with installing gray water, and it's that, can you get the water easily from your laundry fixture or your shower water, if you're doing a permitted system, can you get that easily to the landscape? And in this case, we could not, because there was the laundry system is in the middle of the house, and so in order to get the water out here, it would have required a lot of extra trenching to get through the house. The easiest low-hanging fruit if you want to do a gray water system is if you have your laundry system in a garage or on the edge of your house, all you need is a simple hole drilled through the wall, and you can get that water right out into the nearby landscape. Sadly, we couldn't do that in this landscape, but we did make use of the rainwater because we had a easy downspout to connect to.